Hi, I'm Black Cat, and today I want to talk to you about all the things you might need to bring with you to a convention. So there are so many things that you might want to take with you. I know when I first started going, I would get there and think that I'd forgotten everything, and the more I've been to conventions, the more I've realised how many things that I need and what I really don't need and have been bringing with me anyway. So I'm going to go through all the things that I personally like to bring with me. Now, these might not apply to you, some of them will, some of them won't, but I hope this is helpful in some way. The first thing is the most obvious, and that is if you're cosplaying, you want to bring your costume. Either wear it there, in which case you're not going to forget anything because you know that when you leave the house you've got everything on, or if you'd rather get changed when you get there, then make sure you pack everything the night before in a small suitcase and take that with you. Personally, I do the latter because it means that your costume isn't going to get ruined on the way there. It's not going to get crumpled if you sit down on it. You're not going to get creases where you can't iron them, and it just means that your actual journey is comfortable and you can save the discomfort for the actual convention. The next thing you want to bring is your makeup. Now, you probably won't need to bring everything if you get ready before the convention, but I would just bring a handful of things that you might need to just freshen your makeup up throughout the day. So the things that I like to bring with me are my eyeliner, lipstick and foundation. They're the only things that I ever really need to top up. Other than that, I leave everything at home because I find that the rest of my makeup stays on quite well. Unless you're wearing a wig, I'd also bring hairspray and hairpins if you're wearing your hair up. The next thing I like to pack is a mini sewing kit. Things like needles, threads, spare buttons, safety pins, a tiny pair of scissors, and the last convention I went to, I brought with me a little bottle of Fray Check. Clear nail varnish does the same thing. If you get a tear or a hole in your costume, you just dab it onto the fabric and it stops it from fraying and unraveling and stuff until you can get home and sort it out properly. Anything that you think you might need for your costume. So each costume is obviously made differently. If it's predominantly armour or props, you might want to bring a small bottle of paint and a paintbrush, or maybe a portable hot glue gun. Basically whatever is going to be useful for your costume. Everyone's costume is different. I tend to make costumes that are mostly fabric, so that's what I found useful. Then obviously you've got your phone, keys and money. Goes without saying. I would strongly advise taking cash and a bank card because not every stall is going to take card. So take both just to be on the safe side. Other essential things are plasters and paracetamol or aspirin, some kind of painkiller. I always end the day with a headache and am thankful that I've brought some with me. Plasters are important for your feet. You tend to get a lot of blisters if you're not wearing comfortable shoes, because most cosplays, let's face it, aren't the most comfortable things in the world, and we just put up with it because you look good, and that's the important thing. So definitely bring plasters, don't forget. I have used them every single time I've gone to a convention. Every time, without fail, I have needed plasters to cover my feet by the end of the day. In fact, one convention, I remember wearing boots for the first time since buying them. It was in London. The tube line that we needed had closed down, so we had to stop somewhere else and walk. When I got to the convention, I had blisters all over my feet. When I got there, it was hell walking around, and it was the busiest that con had ever been. I could barely walk, I was practically held up by the people around me, and I was just in pain. From start to finish, pain. Oh my god. Plasters, don't forget them, please. So moving on, next thing on my list is camera. Bring it because your phone is probably going to run out of battery and you're going to want to take pictures of everything. The people who have amazing costumes, you want to remember everything. It's huge and there's people everywhere and everyone looks amazing, and it's really great to have those memories afterwards. Oh my god, that sounds so cheesy. The last thing on my list is possibly a phone charger and business cards if you have them. They're really useful because you can put any details on that you want. You could just have some for your cosplay accounts, so your Facebook, Instagram, Cosplay Amino, phone number if you want to give it out, things like that. They're quite reasonably priced and there are so many different companies to choose from online. I lied, that wasn't the last thing on my list. The last thing is food and drink. Bring snacks, and if you don't bring snacks, that's okay, but please bring a bottle of water or some kind of drink. If you're anything like me, you're gonna forget to keep drinking and end up with a terrible headache by like halfway through the day. So bring something that you can drink and snacks just in case either the food vendors have really long queues or you're not keen on the food that they're serving, or just to save you a bit of money. It does tend to be quite expensive to eat at conventions, so it's kind of handy to have something to snack on throughout the days. And that is it. All of those things are things that I would bring with me to a day at a convention. If you'd like to know what I take with me for a whole weekend, which would be a little bit more than that, then just write a comment below. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, comment below and I'll think about making a part 2 to this video. So I hope this was helpful for you, and that's it. So until next time, bye!